back to Prime Morning. It's Thursday, and you know how we do every single Thursday. We talk relationship. Let's Talk Relationship is up now. I'm excited about this topic, and I'm excited about my guests at the same time. Before we get right into it, welcome back once again to Prime Morning. A very big thank you to Nutri Snacks. If you're looking for delicious and nutritious snacks, Nutri Snacks Oats Digestive is there for you. So make sure that you get yourself some Nutri Snacks Oats Digestive biscuits. And Celestial Praise at 10. It's been 10 years of God's mercies, God's grace. Celestine Donko is saying a big thank you to God on the 6th of March 2023 at the Dominion Sanctuary at the Victory Bible Church in Awoshi. She's calling on you to come in your numbers to help her say a very huge thank you to God for supporting and being there for her all through 10 years of Celestial Praise. There are many gospel artists that are going to be present as well, so you wouldn't want to miss out on it. So make sure that you find your way on 6th March at exactly 4 p.m. at the Dominion Sanctuary Victory Bible Church at Awoshi. Now let's get right into our topic for discussion today on Let's Talk Relationship. Today we are talking about traditional marriage and its list. What is the significance of the marriage list? When a man goes to see the family of a woman he's interested in and shows interest that he wants to marry the woman, the man's family is presented with a list of things to purchase and bring them to the traditional marriage ceremony. Why is it so? Why do we do that in our African culture? It's not just in Ghana that we do this. There are a whole lot of other African countries that do this culture. What is the essence of it? And today, to dissect the reasons we, do or accept traditional marriage lists, I have seated with me seasoned counselors, and you will understand me when I mean by what I meant by I'm excited about my guests. So, ladies first, let me introduce my lady guest. She is Reverend Mrs. Jennifer Selly. She's a marriage counselor of Petra International Church. Good morning, Mommy.
Good morning.
Happy Ghana Month to you.
Happy Girl Month.
And I love the way you are, representing Ghana.
Thank you. And you look beautiful as well.
Thank you. Oh, you should have seen us yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, and my male guest is no stranger to Let's Talk Relationship. And he is Reverend Daniel Anand, who is a counselor and a preacher. Reverend Anand, good morning.
Good morning.
Please, how are you doing?
I'm well, because you have started the thing. Because today I look at the package and say, hey! Today,
Reverend, you see you started. When I say package, is always looking for an opportunity to bully me.
Oh, why?
He's always looking for an opportunity to bully me. I don't know why.
You see, packaging. Packaging is very important, too. In everything, packaging.
It's very important.
Yes.
Yeah, the way you present yourself.
The packaging will bring you your price.
Yes.
Will bring you your recognition, acceptance, and value.
Right. So like I mentioned earlier, we are talking about traditional marriage list and its significance. So make sure that you get interactive with us on our social media platforms. And so let me start with you, Madam Selly. Traditional marriage list. What is it? In the first, let's just talk about what exactly it is.
Thank you. Traditional marriage, I call it customary marriage.
Okay.
In customary marriage, let's say marriage in general, it's a covenant relationship between a man and a woman. That is God's ordained plan for a covenant between a man and a woman. Two adults, matured, who have decided that they can live together. That's the intent. So, before we go to list, there is, in our custom in the Volta region, when a young man finds a lady to marry, you go tell your parents, this is the lady from this or this person's house. I've spotted her. I've spoken to her and I think I want to marry her. So your parents will go ahead, do background search. They do consultations. They find the family, what sicknesses are in the family. Are they good people? Are they womanizers in the family?
Yeah.
Can they take good care of you? You know, they do all those investigations. So after the investigations and they are okay, then they'll tell their son, we are fine. We've done our findings and it is good to go. So then they find some elders from the family. That's the first step. So that is the knocking. Okay. The first step of introducing your family to the lady's family is the knocking. So you call them and say, oh, we have an interesting matter to discuss with you, and we want to send our elders to come and meet your elders to discuss that matter. Then a date is set. So they go to the lady's elders and they go and discuss what their son's intent is to marry their daughter. So that at that point, the man's family is introduced to the woman's family. Then the woman's family will tell the man's family, we have heard all that you want to do. We give us some time, you'll hear from us. That time that they are requiring or requesting for is for them also to do their own investigation, their own background check for themselves as well. So let's say a month or 2 or weeks, and then they call you and say, okay, we are okay with you, you can come over. So at that point, that is when the list is given. At the knocking stage. After the knocking is done, then the list is given. So they come and request how it is done in their family.
Right, okay. Reverend Anna, let me come to you. So we are going to be very specific and take 2 different tribes, that is the Akan and the Ewe traditional lists when it comes to marriage. What would you say is the reason that Akans have certain kinds of lists on their traditional marriage lists?
Okay, thank you. With time, things have changed. But when you look at its traditions or customs and Christianity, there is no difference.
Okay.
The only difference and challenge we have is the contextualization. Do you get me?
Okay.
The Bible was written in a traditional setting or a customary setting. Quite often people want to say as if tradition is bad. It's not evil. It is the contextualization where we begin to have a challenge. So nobody should look at Christianity and our tradition as evil. The contextualization, if you don't handle it well, then it becomes problematic. Now, when people are contracting marriage, in their account setting, they are looking out for one, if there will be any spiritual bonding that will not help the 2 families.
Okay.
So we have the 7 clans in Tong and Song. So they will ask Obon Tombeng because they don't want you to have an incest or somebody from the same family marrying. Yes.
Yeah.
I happened to be at a funeral, and one of the people who was serving me, and I asked her name, said, I'm called Anan. I said, what is your household name? Then she mentioned it. Then I realized she's my sister. Because, for instance, if anybody is called Anan, A-N-N-A-N, and he mentions any other household name, like Yateli, Yatioko, Yale, Yako, Yacho,
you're related.
Then we are related.
Okay.
So I asked my uncle, who is this sister? Am I related? Say yes. Then she called her and asked, where do you come from? Said Abukobi. I said, it's your sister. Because the Anan traced their roots from Abukobi, from Sunyani, and from some part of Fanti. Because our great-grandfather was a trader. He trades in salt.
Okay.
So his trading roots, he established marriages there. So right from there, I cannot marry her.
Yeah.
Because she is from my own. So their accounts, they will ask you, Obon Tombeng, so that they will not have that problem of having incest in that. Number 2, in the bonding, some of the families have peculiar things. There could be a curse, there could be something. They don't want any alliance with a family that has a bad history. Maybe there was a curse, or maybe they were outcast, or you see, for instance, when you look at some people, their face, those who have marks here, they are called donko.
Marks here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you don't marry from that tribe. They are slaves.
They are slaves.
Yes. So they have given them those incision marks to indicate that they are slaves. So you can't marry from a slave family.
Oh.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yes. So there are when you go to Ashanti, as Kumasi, Ashanti, for instance, when you are coming from Fumesua, before you get to Kumasi, part of Fumesua, we call them Kokobra. They are Krobos. The Krobos were very fair. And by some reasons, Ashanti Kingdom placed them there. When you go to Kumasi, there are certain strategic places that some people are placed there. They will ask you where, so they have to check the background so that they will know first that the spiritual bonding, there will not be a problem. 2, there will not be any untoward curse into our family. Then 3, they want to check whether they don't have any bad character that will have an influence over the family. Then they check whether there is no sickness or something that is prevailing in the family. Or they don't want to have any history that will always be a stigma on the other side. So they look at all these things. So they will look at your clan, they will look at where you are coming from, and after that, they will check whether the person is capable. The capability comes when we see, 1, he's matured enough. The questions that they will ask you will indicate that we are in answer for,
Yeah.
So the line of question will indicate whether you are, because it takes a mature person to handle your daughter. So they will check the maturity of the person. So you see that some people will be, this person will throw a question from here, that person will throw a question from here. They will be testing your intelligence and your maturity. Having been satisfied with that, then they check whether you are able in terms of finances.
Okay.
In terms of finances, what work are you doing? Are you a farmer? In those days, they were farmers, predominantly farmers.
Yeah.
Few were trading. So they will look at, oh, maybe he's a cocoa farmer. He is this farmer. Oh, he has cultivated this number of acres. Oh, okay, Obon Homoding. Then that word, Obon Homoding, will come in. Then they will see he's capable.
He's capable.
Then they will also check whether, do you have any other wife? Because in our system, polygamy is allowed. So they will have to know whether you have a wife and our daughter is going to be the second wife or otherwise. Or have you had an issue with somebody which has not been resolved? Because they need to look at all these things so that when they contract the marriage, they will know that this person, our daughter, is safe. So they will look for that. Sometimes they always also check whether he's from a very far distant area. With that, they will get people from the outside who is living there to do the due diligence for them. That's why they say, Okwantintin awari minko. Okwantintin awari minko. Semenyame kodu nasem smecha meye demate. So in the folklore, this became one of the things, the reason why they look at for all these things. So they ought to be satisfied wholly that our daughter, who is going to be contracted for this marriage, is safe. Thereafter, they will give the list. In those days, it was not necessarily lists.
Okay.
There were tokens that were representative of the contractual marriage. Modernity has changed things, because all that they want to know that our daughter can be taken care of. So in some traditions, they don't even, in the olden days, they don't take anything. There's
nothing like,
yeah, no
token.
no. those days, in few occasions, they will ask for sewing machine.
Okay.
Because they know the woman will have to sew, not for commercial. I'm stitching those things.
Yeah.
And later on, a tinsa came in because some women will want to trade. Some women want to trade. All these things were symbols. They were, previously they were not there because they were all farmers. Because when he marries you, he's going to, you and the kids are going to the farm. So why do I have to give you that money? I don't have to do that because we are going to commit ourselves to that farming. So, but with time, things were changing. Then it was being modified. So basically, they will look for maybe things that are tokens that you give to the mother-in-law, the father-in-law.
Like?
Oh, sometimes it was usually cloths.
Okay.
Some were sandals.
Okay.
Because some, in other jurisdictions, you give a cutlass.
Okay.
So that it will represent that some time ago, somebody came into this family, took our daughter, and this is the evidence.
But those clothes, like the ones you mentioned as tokens, they are still happening now.
But you see, modernity has brought it to a certain level. And it's becoming more expensive.
Because of the add-ons. Okay.
That is it. Basic, so they were basic, though there was not so much demand on it because the issue is that we want our daughter to have a good marriage.
Right.
So they say, "Yan ton ye banamau, o besrena wadie." Our daughter is not for sale. You are going to ask for her hand in marriage.
Yes.
So whatever you are coming to do is like you are pleading. But today, it's like it's for sale.
Okay.
So the olden days, that was their thinking, that yan turn them out.
Okay.
So they don't make it so expensive.
Right.
They make it so simple.
Right.
So that the marriage can go on.
Okay. Reverend Sally, let me come to you. Is it the same for the airways?
Yes. I think I started by saying the background check. So it's the same for the airways.
Okay, and with the list.
With the list, as he said, in the olden days, it was tokens that were given, just as them. But
what was it exactly? Was it cloth also?
yes, cloth for the father and cloth for the mother. Just saying thank you for raising this beautiful daughter for us to marry. So that was then, and some, significant things that when, and the drink they asked for was very significant in those days. Customarily, I remember my father would bring the drink and said, "Everybody come and taste some. It is your cousin, Akoshia Mansa, or Gohoho, that has been married. So taste of this drink. This is to tell you that she is married." Oh. Yes. So that is the reason why they were collecting the drinks. They share the drink, and every family or heads will have a taste of your drink.
Okay.
And one bottle is kept for the day of eventuality. Although those days they were not having those breaks in marriages, but then for eventuality's sake, they will ask when trouble arises, "Where is the drink that we left when her hand was asked in marriage?" When she said, "I don't want the marriage again," that same drink, you have to return it.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things in the olden days, but modernization has set
now
in.
let's talk about the modernization.
Okay.
How there's now so many things have been added to what you guys are. I haven't given my list yet. I haven't, but I've witnessed quite a number. I have it in mind. Yes, exactly. Now let's talk about the add-ons.
Yeah.
How there are so many other things that have been added. Suitcases. There are some right.
It's step by step.
Okay.
So let's say stage 1 of the marriage is the knocking stage now.
Yeah.
It comes with a bottle of schnapp or 2 bottles. It depends on the family's request.
Okay.
2 bottles of foreign drink.
Yeah.
They will be specific.
Foreign drink.
Fugodo faha.
Okay.
A fugodo, that means foreign.
Oh,
They want international. So the old man will tell you it must be in. So that, and then at times, if it depends on the family, you add maybe some 200 cedis, 100 cedis to that drink for the knocking. That's the stage 1. And then when you come to the stage 2, that is after they have given you the list. It depends on you, how rich you are, how soon you can come back to. And the list consists of cloth for the father, a sandal, traditional sandal for the father, and an amount of money. Now it ranges from 300, 500,000. It depends on how rich you are. It's modernized, so that one is left. It's pay your pocket, and then the mother, you are required to give your mother-in-law 6 yards. That's half piece of cloth, headgear, a slippers to match, at times a handbag, and some cash, just for your mother-in-law to say thank you for raising this beautiful girl for me to marry. Then it comes to the dowry. That is when the list is on ending, depending on the family you are coming from. So we have the Bible, we have the ring, we have the suitcase, we have 6 pieces of cloth, 6 pieces of headgear, like this. And then you have your beads in there with the airways. You have to have traditional beads. And then you have your jewelry box. And then you have sandals, shoes, and a sandals. 1 shoe, 1 sandals. 6 or 12 brand new panties. 6 braziers. You are going to enjoy.
You just make you comparison.
No.
And the dowry, the list is enormous, because I tell my daughter always that the man that is coming to marry you must make sure a V8 is part. If he cannot provide today, yes,
V8.
If he cannot provide today,
Land Cruiser.
Yes, he can provide later.
So will listen to you. I said you are comparing.
That is a joke.
Right.
So that is to tell her that you need to wait till somebody come to marry you properly. It's always beautiful for your hand to be asked in marriage.
Even with the cloths. You guys do kente as well.
Yes.
So you add
the evekete.
Okay.
Evekete.
Oh.
Can you say that?
No, please. I don't want to try. I don't want to try, please, no. But you know, with the list that was scrolling on your screen right now, I know. Okay, so yeah, there you have it. So you have mother's items. You have two half pieces of cloth. 2 scarves, or duku, bride dowry. We have ladies' items, 1 Bible, ring, 6 pieces of cloth, 3 handbags, 3 pairs of shoes, 1 kente, underwear, 6 sets, 4 bra, 1 suitcase of Ecolog bag, jewelry box. Okay, it must contain 1 wristwatch, 1 set of necklace, and then soft drinks. And the list even goes on. We have money for Akunta, brother-in-law money, which is even it's 100 Ghana cedis on here. And family elders, we have 6 champagnes, money worth of 100 Ghana cedis, and then some soft drinks.
Yes.
But with this list, this doesn't seem recent, right? With a list that's
it's not recent.
It's not recent.
It's like 10 years back.
Oh, because it's become more.
Really? Yeah.
Hey,
it's terrible.
But is the man's family obliged to go according to every single thing, to purchase every single thing on the list, Reverend Anan?
I happen to contrast of marriage be at Krobo.
Okay.
They have been staying together for a long time. They had kids.
Oh, okay.
So Krobos have their unique way of contracting marriage. So when they Well, that day they brought the list. So I look at the list. I look at the thing. I saw that the man cannot pay. I went to the woman. I said, Unim, we have come here. If we don't do it today, I will go. We are finished. Go and tell your people. They have to take whatever we brought. If you don't do that, we leave this place, your marriage will never be contracted. So he went there with that hard face. Because they started giving sheep sheep. Yeah. So I said, where are we heading towards? Me, I know the man to be a simple policeman. And we have gone there, you are saying this. So he went. When he came back, I don't know how she did it. So the moment she came back, they said, okay, whatever you brought, we accept. I said,
so what was the whatever that you brought?
Oh, we had some small money. In fact, we did, it was not, that money was not much. And the representation of the woman's things, the man's things, and those things. Basic. Asa.
But don't you feel that sometimes when the things are not, a lot, or they are not satisfying to what the woman's family are expecting, they would one way or the other feel like you're not putting value on their daughter?
You see, the issue about value is relative.
Yeah.
Okay.
The issue is that, do you look at it in terms of the security of your daughter? Or you are looking in terms of the prestige of your family?
Okay.
The things that we do, most of them are fanfare. Beyond it, then wahala comes.
Yeah.
So that's why I said the due diligence is the most important thing. All the others, they are things that we do to satisfy people. I always tell people that when marriage is contracted, what do you take home? Nothing. You do not take anything home. Weddings, do you know what you take home? No. It's only your ring.
Yeah.
All the others you do it for people.
For people, okay.
They will come, they will eat, they will go.
Yeah.
But the only that thing that came to you was your ring, a son. So the issue that we need to look at is that we need to do something that is quite decent. But we should not do things that are too much beyond the capabilities of the man. Either than that, he will see the woman as he will treat the woman with that ill feeling that he is having. There are some families they can afford. In fact, when you give them the small list, they will add more. I've been in an engagement where everybody received Pronto watch.
Okay.
Do you know Pronto watch? Do you know Pronto? Are you sure? Because nowadays we don't have Pronto watch.
It's not common.
Yes, they gave Pronto watch to everyone.
Yeah.
And as part of the diary, there was a brand new Benz on it. Yeah.
So they added.
Yeah, they can afford.
Wow.
Yes, so they did it. But you don't use that as a standard.
Yes.
So what we need to do is that let us make a thing so liberal that people can easily marry. At the same time, let us not make it so cheap that they think that we are just want to drive you away from that.
That's what I was going to get at, because it looks like, okay, if the man's family or the man knows that I spent a lot to get you, someone would say that, okay, it would make me value it, because when you spend a lot of money in purchasing something, you value it a lot, because you know that your hard-earned money is what you use in purchasing it.
Only if it's not under duress.
Okay. Okay.
If it's not under duress, if voluntarily he decided to spend more, no problem. But this one, it was a demand.
It was a demand.
So some of them, they go and borrow. He had to borrow before he could contract that marriage. So what happened? After the marriage, he has to pay the debt.
Yeah.
So is he paying the debt with love or with anger? So that anger will be meted on you. But because you want to contract the marriage, so what the issue is that we must find a balance. You cannot give a blanket thing, but let us find a balance. My issue is that let's make things so simple that people can marry, so that we will not place impediment on people who want to marry. Because nowadays, to be honest with you, it's becoming too expensive. So young people, you have to prepare. sometimes you don't have 100,000, you can marry. And you have life after the marriage.
Yeah.
And it's only 2 days. 2 days. One for the customary marriage and the second one for the wedding. So 2 days. After that, you're going to live for the rest of your life. So why don't we think about investment? Why don't we look at things that after the marriage, they will be able to live happily? I just look at it in that terms. You see, you cannot look at every person and say that because he bought the thing expensive, he's going to handle it well. Some people, they are very careless.
They're very careless,
yes. But the most important thing is let's look at the person, the quality of the person who is coming into that home. When he's a good person, there are some people you see, or born homody, you see that there's progress ahead. So why don't we push them? But when you make it so expensive, they always want to react with anger. And that could be very dangerous for the woman.
Right. Reverend Sally, coming to you. So Reverend Anand mentioned that finding a balance. How can we do that?
Yes, we have to. And it's worrying. Currently, or in our present world, is very worrying. The trend which our marriages are taking is very worrying. Yeah. And every parent is worried or should be worried. Because let me start from myself. When my husband's family came to see my parents, I remember the day they were coming for a list, my father told them, I have no list for you. I have no list for you. Just this statement made my husband today of 29 years cherish and, see me in a high.
Wow.
I mean everything to him. Because I was never sold to him. I was given to him to take care of.
Right.
I have no list for you. My father never gave a list for my marriage. Wow. So he told the elders from his family, go and do what is right. Come and do what is right. So whatever they did is termed as right. That's how it should be.
And he has done what is right.
Yes, he did whatever he brought is what is right. Yeah. Because every family have a tradition they follow.
Yeah.
So customarily, the elders know what to do. So they did what they have to do, which is right. And we've been married happily after.
Right.
We didn't borrow anything to do anything. And it's been peaceful. So all I want to say, the excessiveness of the requirements for marriage is making it as if your daughter is for sale. I have watched these short videos on social media where the man said, I paid your bride price. I own you. I said, sleep. You have to. No. I paid your bride price. So you own me?
Right.
It shouldn't be. So it depends on how you approach it. So you make the sin as if you are selling your daughter, which shouldn't be.
So then it looks like today we have just missed the purpose.
We've merchandised it.
The purpose for which a bride price is taken or given. Because with what you said so far, it is just a thank you to the family. Thank you for bringing up such an amazing woman for me to marry. Just a thank you. But then it's like,
and the dowry came in so that the lady can get if she want to trade, maybe she need a capital to trade, then she can use that one. And the machines and things came in so she can learn a trade to support the family, because civilization came in and now women have to also work to support the men. So those things came in so that, but the add-ons are just too much. And the money, the cash, the amounts they are mentioning, it should be a token to symbolize. It shouldn't
not
be,
like you are paying.
No, it shouldn't be a charge. It
shouldn't be exactly like a fee.
It's not a fee. It's just a token to appreciate someone. If you can afford, fine. But we shouldn't make it that is a must. You must bring 1,000 or 5,000 Ghana cedis for dowry for the lady. Somebody working at, I don't want to mention anyway, and earns like 700 cedis a month. How can he marry if we continue like this?
And somebody will say, then he's not ready for marriage.
Yes, that's why they are.
Because
they
his
are
earnings below 1,000 Ghana cedi. 1,000 Ghana cedi. How can you start and make a family out of that? That's what somebody
So it's the understanding is very, very important.
Yeah.
That the family, as Reverend Annan said, is for the two of them to live and to progress in their marital journey. If you take everything away from them, they are going to start from nowhere.
Yeah.
And they're going to struggle. Yes.
Yeah.
So most marriages start struggling because tomorrow the bead seller comes for the money. The cloth Hollandaise is coming for her money. And every month you keep paying and paying and paying. And for the first year of the marriage, they don't enjoy anything. Then confusion comes in. So it's worrying.
Okay.
We need to look at it.
Okay. Reverend Annan, what should be the maximum of things on a list that should be given?
Oh, basically it should be about 5.
5?
Yes. You see,
Even in
you see, the issue is that we are not competing. The issue critically we need to look, women, you are competing too much. So when we went for this person's own, we look at how he did it. So my own should pass her own.
Yeah.
So the bridal party, how many people? What an example.
I
forgot it. So some 7, some to the extent that 10.
10, yes. Some do 10.
10.
And
so,
even over.
Yes, so if your friend did 10, you go for how many?
15.
15.
Yes.
Then it keeps increasing.
Yeah.
So we are not competing. Stop competition.
Thank you.
We should complement. We are working together. Number 2, don't let anybody's issue be your standard. Don't. Society is carving a certain standard for us to follow.
Yes.
But at a certain point in time, the traditional rulers, the churches, and the society should say, enough is enough. If we don't stop this, I don't know where it will get to. Because if we don't speak about this and stop it, there will be a time people will rob to marry.
Yeah.
Because it's become extremely expensive. So we should check all these things. Basically 5 things will be okay. If the person is able to do it, fine. But let us not make it a standard. When you buy, send your money and into also the that invariably they are telling you that the previous one, this is what happened. So compare the nose and make it better.
Some would also say that just to avoid being a mockery, being laughed at, being made fun of. Oh, the man she even married, look at this beautiful lady. The man she even married, is not a well-to-do man. The man cannot take care of her. You know, it's like a lot of people are doing this because they are trying to avoid such things.
Oh, I have some guy, he was doing prayer. When, you know doing prayer? When we were in secondary school, you see some people that walk big boots.
They are not learning anything.
You go to the, as if you think they go to the library, by the time you are where you sleeping.
They are sleeping.
They are sleeping. This man came. He had a Benz, brand new Benz, round light. And those he was flexing in the church. People saw, hey, that guy Obio. Not knowing all of them were laboro. When she married the woman, then the woman realized that she's made a big mistake. Because what the man was doing was to impress so that she can get the lady. Now she has contracted the marriage already. And she knows as a Christian, she cannot leave the marriage home. So he has to stay like that. Why don't we become real to ourselves and also to be truthful to ourselves? And if we are able to do that, the two families can sit down and have a common ground, then work on it.
Yeah.
One of my daughters got married, my senior. I was the one who was there. So simple. Finish. Gone. I mean, when I got married. That very day, maybe that very day, I was at a meeting. So from the meeting, I went. It was so simple. My father-in-law said, "Man, tell me about what did and we did it."
You know, my father always says this. He's always telling me that when a man comes to ask for my hand in marriage, and then they bring my things, if my family gives the list and they bring their things, he would also do the same for the family.
You see? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
That's
very
what my
important.
father says.
What's his name?
DC Ofi Kwame Nkrumah Kumia.
Hey! I really spoil you. Oh, this one is.
You've just got it. You've just got it.
So you see the mentality of your father.
Yeah.
He wants them to understand that my daughter is not for sale.
Yes.
So when he gets into your home, treat her as my treasure.
Yeah.
When people begin to form that opinion in their mind, they begin to respect you, appreciate you,
right,
value you, and recognize you as a wife.
Right.
When we don't do these things, people get into marriage, they are not recognized. They are not appreciated. They don't even value her. When I walk around, one of my daughters got married to a certain guy. The guy is in America. And this girl traveled from Ghana to America. I said, now I in the bay. Can we carry suspense to America? But you see, and you will find that statement going on around our circles. Oh, Banadiana.
Or the buy.
Or the buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they begin to.
Yeah.
Then they begin to look down on you. So we ought to be very careful that we look at the person. Look at the person himself. He's a very progressive person. He's somebody you know that he has a brighter future. Let us help them to build. In the same time, let us always also work on the background so that it will not be like people have taken you for granted. There are some people, you give them 1 inch, they take a mile.
Yeah.
But we don't take the people for granted, so that the people can get into the matrimonial home happily married, and they will enjoy the marriage.
They will enjoy the marriage. This conversation has been very insightful and educative. We have been talking about traditional marriage lists and its significance. Before I go, Reverend Sally, final remarks on this topic.
What I want to say to the public is, marriage is beautiful. Marriage was ordained by God. Nobody can erase that fact. It's the truth. So it's only God that helps us to marry rightly. Secondly, we marry from families. So we must respect each other's family. If you are asked or you are given a very short bride price to pay, doesn't mean you should treat the lady anyhow. We should treat each other with maximum respect. When we treat each other with maximum respect, it fosters unity. We grow together, we think together, and makes life better for us. Thirdly, I want to tell our viewers that the bride price list, they should look at it, because I have gone to ask for reduction before. From where I sit in the church, most of the young guys, they go and bring this list and it's too much. They can't afford. So I delegate somebody to go with them, go talk to the family, and at times it is reduced because some of the things are excesses. So we remove them. But some things are significant. The dowry, the cloth. After marriage, the lady must look beautiful.
Yes.
It must dress well. So all those things are for the initial stages. So they are very significant and very important. Your mother-in-law must present nicely, your father-in-law. So those are the things that cannot be taken out customarily. And so the excesses should be removed and make the thing very minimal for everybody to be able to afford. Affordability doesn't mean treat it anyhow. Please.
Okay.
The respect, I'm very much concerned about respect for each other and for each other's family.
Okay.
If you come and marry, let's say Reverend Anand marries me, my family is very poor. His family is rich. Even from the onset, there will be fight. Why are you marrying this papa? Why are you We should stop those things. For we do not know tomorrow. We don't know what will come out of somebody. Today you might be the breadwinner. Tomorrow I will be the breadwinner. You might not know. So treat me decently. Treat me with respect. And let's live together. And life will be lived happily in marital homes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Reverend Sally. Reverend Anand.
She's called Mama Gao.
Just call Mama Gao.
That's it. Oh, is that not your name?
It's my Facebook name.
It's not Mamaga. Me, I don't lie. Oh.
You don't lie.
When I talk about your package, was I wrong?
It's a
No, you were not wrong.
Mamaga.
Okay, so yes, it's Ghana month and we are celebrating Ghana. We are celebrating our culture. And that is the reason we had to bring
Miss Ora,
this
can I say
conversation.
something?
Yes, please.
There's something maybe I'm pleading if it's possible. Can we merge the customary marriage and the wedding together?
Yes.
It's possible.
Yes.
I've officiated a lot that is possible. You know why? The same people who be coming for the wedding are the people on engagement.
People, yeah.
Why don't we do it such a way that after we have done the customary, let's set it up, bless it for them to go. Yes.
A lot of people do it on the same day.
Not on the same day, the same function.
Same time. The same
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Because you see,
it's possible.
It's possible. Let us look at
that.
Yes, let's look.
That.
I've done a lot. Let's look at the possibilities, the engagement. After they are finished, then the priest will come. We bless it,
and then that's it.
That's it. Finish. Finito. But why do we have to spend so much on this? Then we'll go and spend again. And you see, if they did it on Thursday, Friday, the people who travel, they will stay. You feed them.
You feed them.
Then Saturday, you do the wedding. You feed them. And Sunday, they'll go for the Thanksgiving. 4 days.
You are married.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, like I was saying earlier, it's Ghana month, and so these are the kind of conversations we'll be bringing to you every single Thursday throughout the month of March. Today, we handled the traditional marriage list and its significance, and then we took the Akan and Ewe tribes. Next week, we will be going into the marriage ceremonies itself. You wouldn't want to miss out on that episode. And so my guests today have been Reverend Mrs. Jennifer Selly, marriage counselor from Petra International Church, and then my male guest has been Reverend Daniel Annan, who is a counselor and a preacher. Thank you once more. So ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is another awesome conversation. I'm super excited about this one. So stay glued to your seat. Go nowhere. My name is Esiedua Akumia.